everyone, welcome to Just Be You Talkshow. I'm Fisby, your host tonight. Today we have Love and Respect Transformation Center with us. Love and Respect Transformation Center was founded in 2016 by a dedicated husband and wife duos, Mushida Syed and Zil Zainuddin. And Transformation Center have various members, partners, and collaborators who are change makers, initiators, and champions in their respective causes in its community. Love and Respect Transformation Center was awarded the Brands for Good Award in 2019 for Business Model and Community Giving in Singapore, and Green Malaysia Project Management Award 2019 under category of Sustainability. So without further ado, let me briefly introduce our panels today. The first one, Mushida Syed. Hi, Mushida.
Hello.
She's co-founder of LNR Transformation Center. Mushida is a social activist, a well-known award-winning international speaker, trainer, business and transformation coach. We have Zil Zainuddin. Hi, Zil.
Hi, everyone.
He's the co-founder of LNR Transformation Center. Zil is an international trainer, speaker, life coach with more than 15 years experience in the professional training and coaching industry. Both Mushida and Zil are also social and conscious entrepreneur and business owners. They have been featured in various media channels, radio, newspapers, and magazines in Malaysia and Singapore. Welcome, Zil. Welcome, Mushida.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next one will be Adriana. Adriana Devora. Hi. Hi, Adriana. She's the founder of Women Support Women, Brazilian entrepreneur and fashion designer, and has attended Mushida's workshop on letting go. The next one we have Pamela P.S. Lim. Hi, Pamela. She's the author and emotional healing coach, community member of Love and Respect, Feminine Leadership Community. The next one we have Mai Vu. Mai, she's the founder of Empowered Muse, empowerment coach, and Mushida's mastermind partner and collaborators. Okay, and the last but not least, we have Muhammad Nazir Hamzah, founder of Chanko Zen, community members with Love and Respect, Leave a Legacy.
Hi, good evening.
Welcome, everyone.
Hi.
For having us. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Fisby.
Thank you. Okay, without wasting any time, Mushida and Zil, what transpired you to set up a Love and Respect Transformation Center?
Okay, I love this question, Fisby, because love and respect are fundamental human emotional needs, the basic values that everyone should have. And the name Love and Respect came at a time when we were not facing any love and respect in our lives, right? There was a time in our life. I mean, people look at us now and they say, "Oh, you have a good life. You're very successful." But back in 2006 when we were here, I came to Kuala Lumpur with only 2 ringgit, no money. Zil got a job here. He lost his job. He was fired and he was not paid, right? So during that time, and the time when it was really down, I realized there were 2 types of people. One type is the kind of like when you are down, they want to make your life more miserable. They make life more difficult for you. They create more obstacles for you, and they say things about you and to hurt you even more, or to others. And there are a second type of person, people who, when you are facing challenges, they are just kind. They want to help. They offer help, and they don't ask anything back in return. And I told myself at that point, when I come out of this rut, I want to be that second type of person because I can feel it, right? So when, if people know my story, within 2 weeks, I managed to attract 20,000 ringgit and got out of that 2 ringgit story and created life and created my business. The name Love and Respect resonated so much with us, right? And that's why we named our message Love and Respect. And when we started our company and our business, it is still the name Love and Respect. Yeah.
So do you apply love and respect in all your initiatives and projects?
Absolutely. Of course, it starts with myself
Yeah,
first.
we also work in progress.
Yes, we are always work in progress. But the message of love and respect is the basis of everything. Like even in my corporate training, the basis is love and respect. How do you give a fantastic customer experience? Go back to love and respect.
Yeah.
How do you create a fantastic corporate image or personal brand? Go back to love and respect.
Yeah.
How do you have organizational excellence or good leadership or good teams? Go back to love and respect. And that's why even right now, when we set up this amazing community, the basis of the community is love and respect.
Yeah, and then what we always share is love must always come with respect. We cannot have one or the other. Like for example, a lot of parents, they love their children, but sometimes I share in my classes that they don't respect their children. And sometimes I shock. So I say, why you don't respect is you don't really take the time to understand what is their dream, what is their talent, what do they want to do in their life. But you force them to go into a mall where they either become a doctor, lawyer, or engineer. You don't really help them. So that is the lacking of respect. So that's why when we train, we want to combine love and respect. So then people in from the family unit and from the community and even companies can actually practice this, and then there'll be a lot of peace and a lot of good things will happen.
Yeah.
Do you have a specific program for love and respect, or it's actually applied throughout?
I do have a program called Love and Respect in organizations, and again, it starts with the employee, the worker, or the leader, or the team member. It is a transformational program. Work on the individual, and then work together in the team. That's where love and respect is. So we do have love and respect in leadership, love and respect in organizations, even eliminating office politics with love and respect. We have that topics as well. And in terms of coaching, we don't call it love and respect. We call it business coaching or personal coaching. But the basis of the training or the coaching is to instill the values of love and respect within the person.
When we wanted at the beginning, when we did our training for government and corporations, and we wanted to use the title love and respect, we got a very negative feedback. People say, cannot practice love and respect in organization because it's a sign of weakness. People will step on us. But after doing it many times and they see the amazing effects of what love and respect can do in an organization, then they come to look for us and they allow us to use the name love and respect. It's a very powerful and high level energy, which we also teach in our courses about the importance of having the high energy, and love and respect is one of the highest energy that we can have.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mushida. Thank you, Zil. Mai, what's your opinion about this? What's your view? Do you think love and respect are very important, especially in organizing projects, initiatives, and programs?
Thank you for asking, and I always love Mushida and Zill's story, how they can transform from going from nowhere to somewhere here right now, beautiful places, and that is showing me again the power of modeling. So because I'm Mushida mastermind, and having a mastermind means that you look at how they do things and the energy, the vibrations, and you really got reminded by that every single day to live in the same way. So when I first met her, I was so moved by her message about love and respect, because I found that love and respect was the ultimate feelings that single one of us would love to receive from another person. And it actually also reflects that feelings has to be cultivated within ourselves in order for us to actually truly allow ourselves to have a better future, have a better presence. Because when you can love other people and respect other people, but you cannot love and respect your own desire, your heart's desire, it is very hard for you to actually receive whatever you're trying to get. So it is very deep message, and I do agree that this is actually one of the most crucial elements to cultivate, not just in a business but also in a personal life. And I'm very happy to meet them, because I realized that yes, people around the world actually wanted to do good for the to make money to do good things. And that was something that I really wanted to do as well. And now I found that there's another person who are just like me, coming from Asia and also having the same mindset and is doing the same. It actually motivated me to spread that message even wider than I could.
Thank you, Mai. What about Pamela, Adriana, and Nazi? What do you think about love and respect? Are those very important components?
Well, I
Maybe
must say
first?
that yeah. So I think I met Zil and Mushida many years ago, before we kind of reconnected back again. So we met in Singapore many years back, and I think last year when I kind of reconnected back and I saw what Zil and Mushida was doing with love and respect, and it was very heartwarming because they are talking about we are business owners and we want to do good and spread love and respect to the community and to give back. And that was something that I personally feel it's really about giving back to the society and impacting on the world and impacting on lives. And it was after having conversation with her, that I decided to join her feminine leadership community. And it's really it's although it's a not too long journey, but I would say that it's an amazing journey for me, to be part of the community, to have the support of like-minded business owners and individuals, that we are supporting each other, and at the same time, we all want to do good with businesses and giving back to the society. Yeah, so it's really amazing how this love and respect has been able to transform lives and impact more people.
Thank you, Pamela. Adriana,
Yes.
can you share your views as well?
Yeah, of course. For me, love and respect is a base for anything what you do in life. Especially as a foreigner in another country, like for me, when I went to China, is a lot of things that you don't understand very well, and they have the cultural shock. So if you want to have or to build up anything great in life, great relationship, great cooperation, there should be the base of love and respect. Is no other way. And now the thing is that we face many times in life hard situations, and people that they have difficulties to love and respect. And I think that's because many times it's difficult to love yourself. So for me, love and the respect should come first, and should be first with you, with yourself. If you don't know how to love yourself, if you don't know how to treat yourself well, it's gonna be difficult for you to treat others well. It's gonna be difficult for you understand people's differences and the cultural differences. So yeah, it's important in any relation, but start with yourself.
Thank you, Adriana.
Yeah, I
Welcome.
couldn't agree more. And as what Zil and Mushida's vision, love and respect. I think we are human beings. Humans are about relationship, and I think it's very key. Relationships need to be built on trust. And having children myself, I got 5 children. Each of them are very unique, and each of them have their own challenges and etc. So it's what Zil mentioned: respecting each and every one. They are unique. A very simple thing secret here, which is need to be kept, but I think we shared to across. There's no such thing as a perfect son, perfect daughter, and there's no such thing as perfect parents as well. But with love and respect, as we grow and build this trust, the relationship that we build, and the economy of scales as we grow will be sustainable when we have this community. So I was very blessed. 2 years ago, I was like a friend of mine kind of introduced me to Zeal and been following for a few years. And then eventually, I think he can attest to this, that we basically went to KL on the same bus, and I was telling him that, I've been trying to get hold of you, and I think fate just brought us apart, bring us together. And that was it. So after that, I attended the seminars, and I mean, love with the things that they do, and respect totally. The community that's been building.
Thank you. And I like the point that you mentioned just now, that everyone is unique and everyone is they have their own strength. And what Adriana and Mai and Pamela were saying is that we have to love ourselves first. That's the most important thing in order for us to actually transmit it to the rest, to other people.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, panels. Okay, Mushida and Zil, back to you. Okay, you have your tagline that says, when you empower the leader, you transform the community. Can you elaborate more on that?
Yeah. You want me to speak on this?
Yeah, you can share for that. I will add
All right.
on. Yeah.
Okay. I always believe in the person of influence, right? Impact the leader, instill the values of love and respect within the leader. When the leader is a walking love and respect value, and he or she leads others and people follow with the good leadership quality, people tend to follow the leader. People will emulate the leader. People believe in the cause of the leader, and people follow a leader not because of the leader alone. It's because of the belief or the values that the leader advocates. And leadership is leadership as it is. Hitler was a very good leader, right? He was a fantastic leader. Millions of people to go murder other people without any humanity, no humanitarian feelings at all, because he could influence and he could affect people on his point of view. Now imagine when we empower the leader with love and respect, with self-belief, with good quality values, doing good. Can you imagine when they have followers and when they lead? And imagine these leaders, that if we can empower the leader and they're all over the world, imagine how much good will be spread around the world. And this is something that we really believe in. And it's like, it's different when we're trying to talk to different individuals separately, not in a community, but when you train leaders and you empower them and they build their own communities, I tell you, it's going to be a very big spread of love and respect around the world.
When we started our conscious business, right, we wanted to, very gung-ho, want to help everybody, so we did every month events, invite refugees, invite low income, invite speakers to motivate them. But then what we found after doing about almost 6 to 8 months, the impact was small. For example, if 40 people came, probably only one was impacted. And then that one, slowly over time, they fizzle out, they disappear. So we felt that it was not working. So what can we do? So we started to change a bit of what we do. We started to focus on identifying leaders, those who have a potential. Like one of our refugee leaders is Hassan. Hassan is a teen boy from Syria, where we met in a breaking class that we conducted. Learned Malay and English from scratch from YouTube, and they're a very charming person, but have very traumatic background, where he saw his own friends and childhood friends got killed in front of his own eyes in the bomb blast over there. The parents ran to Malaysia, and we met him. We immediately saw his potential as a leader, and we started sponsoring him in our workshop and did a lot of internal work with him and build him up as a leader. He wanted his dream to become a teacher and a speaker, and today he's actually a TEDx speaker. And it's not easy to become a TEDx speaker because of his dream, and because we focus on developing him. Now he has a volunteer organization called Al Hassan Volunteer Organization, helping thousands of refugees with medical emergencies which they cannot pay on their own. So that is the power of empowering one person who is a good leader. They can help hundreds, if not thousands of people. Yeah.
And I can see Zil and Mushida, you have actually collaborated with many people. Like what Pamela have mentioned, you have collaborated with her in terms of the feminine leadership, with Mai, Mastermind, with Nazeh, as well as Adriana.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit more about your collaboration, about your various programs that you offer?
Okay, we have since COVID, we started an online platform called Live a Legacy Conscious Business Community, where we help business owners do good through their business and scale up at the same time. So a lot of people who are very heart-centered, they have a very poor money mindset. They want to help people, but they can't even help themselves. They struggle with money issues and all that. And that's where wealth consciousness come in. The belief that money is actually a channel for good instead of money is evil, right? Money is a channel for good. And build a business to be profitable and do good with that. So we started that one. And then we have another community called the Feminine Leadership Community, because I realized women have a different set of problems. They want to do business, but at the same time, they're always that guilt away from the child. I don't want to be seen too successful. My husband must be more successful than me. All of those. And I'm so busy. They do things for everyone and not themselves. So I specifically set up the Family Leadership Community to empower women, get them to step into the queen mindset, so that they will be able to lead with their femininity and their beautiful heart, and to add value to the world. And that's where when I created this, all of these amazing people that you see here in this panel were also on board. And Pamela is in the Family Leadership Community. She is also doing amazing work through her business, spreading her message about mental health and her story. Maybe she can tell more about it later. I met Maivu also through another online mentorship, and I found that she is amazing with her energy, and that's where we masterminded. And when we mastermind, the energy even explodes, right? And then Nazir is in Live a Legacy. Live a Legacy is open both to men and women, doing good through business. And Nazir is already doing sustainable farming. He's an environmentalist. He does a lot of education about beautiful environment, and he's in our community. So imagine that whatever he's doing right now, he is already impacting so many people and educating people and the environment at the same time. And Adriana, I met her a couple of years ago also in one of my programs, in one of my seminars. And again, her energy is amazing. And when she went into the letting go workshop, she was playing full out. And after the workshop, okay, she moved on and I move on. But knowing that whatever she applied, I see her on Facebook, on Instagram. She has a community called Women Supporting Women, and she runs events in China, now in Malaysia. These are the things that warms my heart, because just through that love and respect energy and being in community, supporting each other, every one of us are actually doing amazing things, in their own fields. Including Zil.
What we do is, like, for us, we have been to so many events, networking events, and a lot of these events, I'm not saying that they are bad, but they just focus on a lot of material things. Like, some people come to you, try to hard sell you their product, their services, but they don't really care about you as a person, as your business. So then we said, after so many years of trying to find the right platform, we said, forget about it, we're going to create our own. So then when COVID happened, it accelerated us to create the platform where we believe that if conscious entrepreneurs, people who want to do good together with each other, we will actually really collaborate for the sake of helping each other, doing good, not just for our own agenda. And that's what happened. We had a lot of collaborations in our platform where they all took the time to get to know each other, and even collaborated on some stages in speaking and even social projects. Like Nazir also had some projects that he collaborated with some of the people in our network. So it was quite amazing when you see people who have a love, respect, the right mindset, consciousness, and they get together, amazing things happen.
It's very contagious, is what they share. It's a very contagious, and it's a very good happening here, especially with COVID, right? A lot of people say, we'll recover this in a month's time, etc. But I think there's news that people say this is going to be the new norm. And for us, it's just a way of embracing the opportunity and the possibility. And it's about creating a vibrant future for the newer generations to come. So I guess that's why I think we are so pumped up, and it's just amazing. That's amazing.
Yes, I can feel the energy. Okay. Thank you, Zil. Thank you, Mushida. Thank you, Nazir. Back to you. Can you tell us a little bit about your initiative, which is empowered meals, right?
Yes,
Can you
Impact
tell us
Muse.
a little bit about it?
Sure. We can start first with the name. Impact Muse is what actually I always saw myself being the muse, like means like very soft and always cannot speak my voice. And one of the things when I listened to Zil and Mashida again, I saw, oh yeah, they actually gather a lot of people around them with the same mindset because they dare to speak up what they want. And that is actually a very attractive trait. And I really wanted to emphasize on bringing up women and allowing them to tap onto that empowered version of themselves, the best version of themselves. It can be a queen version. It can be, you can call it queen. You can call it the most wise version of who you are. But women usually grow up feeling that I'm not good enough. I don't know enough. And who am I to speak this? Who am I to say this? And throughout my whole healing, through my coaching, I started to own my voice more and I started to claim what I desire more. I started to dare to dream and dare to boldly speak up who I am and what do I want. And I realized that once I dare to do that, things actually happening in a faster way, in a much better way for me. So my brand was really about helping other women claiming that birthright back and living the best life and living their best version and really use their untapped potential to create their life. And that is why it's Empowered Muse. And I really love how I found Mashida last year because I was like, I also wanted to do good and earn good money because you have this mindset that if you earn good money, you cannot do good because you're gonna turn evil, you're gonna turn to a bad person. And I was hesitant. I was like in that phase of I do want it, but I don't know if I can keep my pureness if I grow bigger. And once I saw her, once I be in her community, I give some speech, mastermind with her, and I saw that yeah, I can absolutely, and like that can-do attitude actually helped me to accelerate my business really fast over the last 12 months as well. So I do really know that when you see that modeling, when you are basking in that vibration, you are reminded of who you are, number one, and what do you want, number two, and you live authentically. And when you live authentically, that is where you attract a lot of people, and that is where you attract loving people, respectful people. And right now, I'm very proud because I now also help a lot of other coaches creating the same. So like they are wanting to become a coach consciously. So not like I want the money from you and how can I make you pay, not focusing heavily on marketing and promotional stuff, but it's truly what services do I bring to you? How can I help you in terms of my own gifts, my own story? How does it relate to your life and helping you from that space? And that becomes a really good tradition in my own very like newborn community. And people flying in, people always say that I'm so happy to find this in Vietnam because I couldn't see it available everywhere, and that is making me more unique, I would say. So thank you for sharing more of that in the world, Rashida and Jill.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, likewise.
What are the key takeaways that you get from the mastermind program?
Actually, mastermind is you sharing the value that you learn. Mastermind is like two minds coming at one, and when you being by yourself, there are some blind spots that you can never spot out about who you are, how you function, the mindset block, and all of that. And of course, the job of the coach is to stand at the higher point of view and help you unblock it. But somehow, you do need that peer energy of yeah, I see you, I really see the best in you, and you can do it. And thinking bigger and doing bigger because you need that consistent energy every single day to embody your next version. So you are the average energy of five people around you, and like look around you. Who are you surrounded? Of course, your partner, your parents, your children, and all of that. And if you don't consciously choose the other two or three persons who are also important in your energy, then you are going to be unconsciously being in the same vibration. So like if you go, have you ever noticed when you have a date with your girlfriend, and if you found this girlfriend who always criticize, judge, and talk bad about her husband, and you try not to, and you know it's not right, and you know I don't like it, but along the way, if you keep meeting her and you see her every single month, it's becoming new normal for you to criticize your husband, to also judge, and to be either getting in that vibration. So that is how energy-wise people affecting people. And I know that truth, and I just wanted the best people around me, the one who share with me same energy and same thinking, and that is why I consciously attracting people, and I'm really happy when I started to have Mashida Mastermind. Truly, we share what we have as challenge and also wins, and because I see her wins, I feel inspired to do the same. And she also helped me unblock some emotional blockage that, like it just happened when you talk to a friend. Like a friend is a friend, a husband is a husband, right? You cannot be a girlfriend and a wife and a coach. Like each person have a different role. And I really appreciate that. You Queen of Girlfriend of mine, plus mastermind partner.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mai. Mushida or Mai, is the program still ongoing, and are you offering it to public?
No, a mastermind. This is something that I instill also in my community to have a mastermind partner. Now, the mastermind is actually a 90-day accountability partner where every week we meet up and talk about the progress of our work, what challenges, what works, what doesn't work, what commitments you have, and you hold each other accountable. And that is where, while we talk, new ideas start to come out. When we voice out our challenges and somebody else gives some solutions, you tend to say, oh yeah, this can be done in this way instead. So it is like a support buddy. I've instilled this in my community. When two people come together and they say, okay, we're both earning currently $5,000. Our goal is to earn $10,000 regularly after 90 days, and they meet every week on what are they doing, their strategies and all that, and they can be from two different businesses, and then but when they come in, most of the time after the 90 days, they both reach their target goal. And a mastermind, you cannot be with somebody who's already earning 50,000 a month with somebody who's earning $200 a month. That mastermind energy doesn't work because the vibe is different, the intention is different. So you must meet together at a common place with the same intention to grow at that level. And it's a very, very powerful energy. Yeah,
it's really true. But in terms of our own collaboration, last December we created Asian Women Empowerment Summit Talk to really empower Asian women to think bigger for themselves and to claim the international market. Because I really resonate with the message that she asked me in one mastermind coach. She's like, "Why? How come like we are the only Asian women here?" Paying at this level and earning at this level and doing this stuff, and I said, yeah, well, how come? And there is like this instilled mindset that, oh, I'm Asian, I'm woman. Asian and woman means like I'm only at home, like I'm a housewife and I can only do that, and I am that identity. But we are not any identity that we think we are. Like we're not a mother, we are not just a business owner, we are all of that. So so why not we create a summit talk to empower them to really see differently about themselves and really claim that. And that talk has been received really, really well and inspires so many women to step up and to claim their voice. And we are planning to do another one this year because it was so good. And truly transmitted the message that we wanted to do in our own business as well as in our collaboration.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, Mai. I understand that it's already 12, almost 12 at your place there.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So my last question to you would be before you go to sleep. How can people connect with you?
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, like, I'm here to support Rashida and Zil and to share, and I'm always so happy to be able to share in any ways that I could. Because once you found your voice, you don't want to shut it down. I mean, you don't want to never abandon what desire you have in your heart again. So, if you're a woman and if you really need to tap into your feminine potential and manifest the desire in life that you do really want, then my own method is usually around using feminine connections to actually work your way to the goal that you have, because you don't need to work harder to have more. And my way of doing things is you have more by easily and effortlessly attract. So if women who need that support, you can send her my way to empower.news on Instagram, or you can find page my website is maivucoaching.com. So it's MAIIVUcoaching.com. And thank you so much for this platform. I really appreciate you and also Rashida and everyone in the panel today to allow me the space to share and the presence.
Okay, thank you, Mai.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a message from Paloma. She agreed with Mushida. She said that I see smart leaders wasting their potential because they are leading with fear and intimidation instead of love and respect.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks, Paloma.
Okay, but next one would be Pamela. Can you tell me and the rest of the viewers about yourself? Tell us about yourself and your partnership with Mushida.
Okay, so I'm actually the author of this book called Love Heals: How I Turned My Life Around. So this is a personal story of the challenges that I've been through in my personal journey. I guess I started my first business at the age of 25, and being very young back then, I didn't know what I was getting into, and I didn't have any support. Like now, I have Mushida and Zil, who are like technically my coaches, who are supporting me in my journey in my business. So back then, without any support and without knowing much about business, I went into a lot of debt, and I also met friends who were supposed to be friends, but they turned out to be con men lah, in a way lah. They actually got me into further debts, and that was where I was literally homeless, jobless, and penniless at one point in my life. And having journeyed that, and at the lowest point where I became a sex worker to survive, and it turned out to be another journey for me when I met my husband, and he changed my life. And that's how, in 2016, I wrote my book called Love Heals: How I Turned My Life Around. And it's been amazing meeting Zil and Mushida after kind of many years. And I decided to. I mean, I have been an entrepreneur for a long time. I started when I was 25, and I came back to entrepreneurship journey in 2010, and it was really tough. But I guess after I published my book, I didn't. I was still kind of resisting going into the coaching and healing field. But in 2019, things started shifting. And in last year, in 2020, I kind of reconnected back with Zil and Mushida, and I decided to really use my story, use my experience to go out there and start impacting lives and start helping people. And I also want to support my friend. My friend has a non-profit organization which is supporting the survivors of sex trafficked girls. and women. So I think that is what is the driving factor, and I really love how Love and Respect, the family community, has the support. You know, they are really a very, very supportive tribe or community that is really so loving, and we are always there to support one another, to cheer each and everyone on for all our, all our projects. And yeah, and I also want to go out there, make my money, and contribute back to the society and do good. Yeah, so that is something that I'm very aligned with what Love and Respect does, and that is why I love being in that part, being in that community. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Pamela. What would be your advice to people out there who are going through the same as you, going through the difficulties and challenges that you face? What would be advice to people out there?
I think
Maybe to community.
I think the most important thing is to get support, to get any kind of support, be it in your own community, people around you, like could be your family members, your close friends, or it could be if even people that are outside your community. For example, there are some helplines and some support, that that people, if you do not have your own personal like family members or friends that you could reach out to, it's to reach out to the hotlines and other communities that are there to support you. Because I think for me, uh, how I eventually came out of my depression and that journey was it was a long journey, I would say. It took me kind of close to maybe 10 years, right? But it was a slow process because firstly, I had a very, very supportive husband. He really loved me and he really took care of me in my journey, and he supported me during really my worst times in my life, and that really changed my life. And now I have 3 beautiful boys. So it's really, you know, I think from where I was to where I am today, I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful for everything that I have, because um, it's the wonderful people that I've met in my journey, including strangers who have helped me during my worst time. And it's really, uh, it's I would want to tell the audience out there, regardless of whatever you are facing, just reach out, because I'm sure there will be a kind soul, or there will be someone else who would be willing to give you that hand to just pull you up, and that is when you meet up all these beautiful souls, that we talk about the humanity, who has that humanity side, who really want to, help you in your journey.
Okay, thank you, Pamela. Mushida or Pamela, how many members you have in your feminine leadership community?
Right now, we have about 25. 25. Leave a legacy is about 30 plus people.
34.
Yeah, 34 people. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The next one will be Nazir. Can you talk about your Leave a Legacy as well as your initiative?
Sure, where to start? Okay, so I guess for Live a Legacy, I think I echo what the panelists have shared. What we are seeing or hearing is about collaboration. It's really about collaboration, and it's very cliche that people say, "What you're thinking? You're gonna be a superhero? You want to be like Superman or Wonder Woman, or I like Spider-Man." So anyway, but there's all these things about this being a superhero, right? The golden rule is that you can never work alone. No matter what your superpower is, your ability, it always boils down to the fact that you have a weakness. And when people know your weakness and people know what you're trying to do, it's easier for them to bring you down. So as what there is, there's always this called super friends or the X-Men and etc. It works in a way whereby we complement each other, we grow, and we help each other, and the vibes that we have, the vibration, the instillations, and then sharing of things. And hey, I've done that before. Hey, I've done that before. So the sense of that you're not alone in this quest to making a difference, right? Is very refreshing and very encouraging. So I think leave a legacy. As I mentioned earlier, 2 years ago when Pam into Zil and Mushida, they're going back home. I'm going to my urban hijau, which is basically a community farm that's about 6 years now. I'm a Singaporean, but having a Malaysian heart, cliche, but also my wife is Malaysian, and having 5 children, I was fortunate to grow out of Singapore, and I see the simplicity of growing your own foods. My dad had a chicken coop, about 150 to 200 chicken. My mom grew vegetables and corn, etc. So that to me was very normal. Being a child growing up, keeping your hands dirty and learning, falling down, etc. As I have my children myself, as I go through this journey, I discover that they're deprived of being children. And being children in this current world, especially this COVID, right, is the ability to fall as much as they can, but pick up and be resilient. And nature is the best form of resilience teacher that you can ever go across. The simple concept about why trees have branch, why trees have roots, and that's where Chanko Zen was born. So Chanko Zen was actually an epiphany of like 6 years in urban hijau, doing it, traveling twice a month, going over there. In fact, at a certain point, my wife said, "Are you sure you're going there for this?" So it has to be some justification. And then she was the one that's supporting all of this. Say, rather than going there, why not start something and do it here in Singapore? So urban hijau was like the reference from 6 years from nothing to Alhamdulillah today where it is. So Chanko was intended set up to form 3 E's, education, edibles, and experience. And Singapore is very deprived of land, but we try and maximize any areas that we can use and grow things that's sustainable and using recycled things. And then from there, you create programs, education programs that students as well as parents and organizations can learn from. And that's where the experience comes in. So behind where this beautiful montage is basically a Desaro project together with Zale and another party or partner. We want to make this a 25-acre to maybe potentially 100 acres of space where we can really demonstrate and showcase the potential of growing and become a sustainable and economical of scale ecology of our own community. And not just about looking for people to help us, but we grow and we help people, empowering the people and ourselves as well. Yeah.
Has the construction started?
Construction has happened like 3 years ago. So currently the place is actually now have 3 to 4 goats or lamb sheds. There's about 200 to 300 goat and sheep, but they also have a very small size staple where we have 5 horses running around that area. But the bulk of developing into like homestays or community gardening and gardening vegetables, and that was put on hold because the idea was to do it last March, and that's where COVID struck. So it's something that we really, really want to get things done. So the collaboration within Z, where they have excessive refugee families, right? That's based in Malaysia. Have them relocated to Desaru and create that community space where they, as they increase their livelihood, they can earn from it. And farmers are not just about the old way where people get their hands dirty and be getting your hands dirty, etc. It can be a lot more things. You can be a teacher, you can be an educator, you can be an architect, you can be an artist as well. So that's why we're trying to create the opportunity where this project Desaru, right, it's about building a community of resilience and future farmers to be.
Okay, thank you, Nazir. That is a huge project. Maybe Mushida and Zil, you can actually talk about it later in your
Yeah.
future plans. Okay, the next panel that I have, she's very special. I think she's a super woman, and I'm in her community as well, woman support woman. So she's Adriana. Do you want to talk about? Can you talk about your initiative as well as what you are doing?
Yes. There is a story. When I was living in China, WSW happened by chance. I would never imagine doing what I'm doing right now because when I moved into China, it was for a business. So I used to export to outside China, and I'm a owner of the fashion studio. So I was attending my clients and helping them to get a beautiful dress. And while they are picking the dresses, they were sharing with me their stories and the life. And it comes to my mind to ask one of the clients, why are you buying a dress? And she told me, I don't know. It's just like I have nothing to do. My husband's working and I stay home. And he just like think about making money. Then I decided to spend. And I felt like it's interesting. And I kept asking every client why they were going there to buy a dress. Then I come to a conclusion that actually they were buying the dress, most of them, for the wrong reason, I would say. Not because they were in need of a dress, but because they wanted to fulfill something that were empty on them. And I started to share with them about my experiences in life. And one day happened that a girl was trying the dress and she was sharing with me her story. And I was sharing back my story. And she started to cry. She cried a lot. And I said, look, I think you don't need a dress. I think you need a hug. You need a kiss and a cup of tea. Wow. So the fashion studio become a place where we feel safe to do so. And and by chance it started the Women Support Women. By that time I felt, the right words, like I felt I'm not good enough to take this responsibility, because many times we think we needed to be perfect, we needed to know everything, we need to have all the answers to start doing something, to start helping other people. We start to listen and to give advice, or even just share, your story. And I realized that sharing my story was actually already good enough to help a lot of women to have their voice, to be heard. So we started the Women Support Women in China. And for my surprise, they helped me back in healing myself, because I understood that I didn't feel that I was good enough to have that, to build up that community, because I was told that I wasn't good enough, that I couldn't make anything great. But thank God we made it, and now we are doing it here in Malaysia as well.
Wonderful. Yay!
Thank you. What do you think about the workshop conducted by Mushida?
Wow, that was a turning point for me. Let's tell you a story. I came from an environment in Brazil. I grew up in a very abusive environment. And again, I was told that I couldn't reach my dreams, that I was not beautiful enough to get married. That, yes, everything was not enough. I couldn't make anything. So I was also like sexual abused, physically abused, and every kind of abuse that you can imagine. So when I attended the Murshida's workshop, I took this decision because I had moved to Malaysia not long ago, and it was a very stressful for me because I lived in China for 14 years, and I didn't want to move to another place. So I have all that transition, to set in another country, everything. And one day I wake up in the morning and I was listening to a song, and there was something like this: the one thing that you are trying to hold on is the one thing you have to let it go. That was like insight for me. I was, Adriana, you are holding back, you are holding on, you are trying to have control of everything. So that's why you are not reaching where you desire. Because you are living the past. Right? So I decided took this decision to attend the Murshida's workshop. And it was a turning point because I was one more step for me to learn how to let it go, to understand that everything what happened to me has nothing to do with me. It's to do with the abusers, it's to do with people that did wrong. But I was doing something that was holding me back. I didn't let what happened in the past. I was carrying with me, day by day, year by year, what they did to me. So I understood that I was becoming what they did to me. Because I believed in their lies. I believed when they said, you can't make it, you are not good enough. When I was abused and someone was telling me, don't move, because if you move, if you speak out what I'm doing to you, you are not a good girl, people won't trust you. So I was believing that, right? So in Moshida's workshop, I just say, you know what? I don't want to bring with me this anymore. I know I can do great, and I know I am good enough. And I cried a lot in the section, and I decided to go from that workshop without the heavy potato bag that I was carrying for many years in my shoulders.
Potato bag. Yeah.
Yes, try to put a potato bag in your shoulders and try to walk with this 1 minute, 5 minutes. Can you imagine it? You have all that, like, lack of forgiveness, all that things, all that hurt, all that resentment on your shoulder.
Yeah.
It's heavy. And you want to feel the happiness because nobody feels happy feeling sore and hurt, right? So there I understood that first, I have to learn how to love myself.
Wonderful.
Self-love is the first step for forgiveness.
Yes,
Because
yes.
you understand that you are not what people did to you.
Yeah.
You are what you do with what they did to you. And what they did to me, I turned the pain into power.
Yeah.
And now I'm fully willing to share this with other people and help them to discover how great they are, how they can turn everything and really build up a bright and a beautiful future. And yes, you are good enough. We are good enough. And together, we can make a really beautiful and bright future.
I mean,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. There's a powerful testimonial of your workshop, Mushida.
I'll cut that part. gosh. Oh,
And
that's
thank you so much, Adriana.
I say thank you. It's my pleasure sitting here and share this moment with you.
yeah.
And I totally agree with Paloma. Paloma said that sharing your story is a powerful thing. It helps both the storyteller and the listener. Totally agree. Thank you, Paloma. Okay. Yeah, Mushida and Zil, you are award winning. You receive a lot, multiple awards, and since 2019, is that correct?
17.
2017, I got the best person.
2017.
Yep.
And 2019, you have received multiple awards as well. And what's the journey? Is it? I mean, how do you overcome all the challenges? I'm sure there are a lot of challenges and all that. And what's the future? Can you tell us
Oh, wonderful.
the
Thank you
plans
for
for the
that
future?
question. Yeah. Well, the future is going to be very exciting. It is not like, I think the people in our community know that it's never the new normal anymore. It's the never normal anymore, right? We have this. It's the never normal, but the thing is it's going to be an exciting journey where we all will pivot together, we will grow together, we will excel with whatever challenges or crisis or whatever they call it that's happening. Because in any challenges in the past, for me, there's always something good, and just go through it, you come out a much bigger, stronger, better person. So if there are crises, let's bring it on, let's overcome, let's get together and let's do good with it, and we all will get stronger, more resilient, and we will discover certain points in our life when if we were living in all comfort zone, everything all shiny, everything all good, we won't discover what treasures there are. When we go through challenges, that's where we discover treasures about people, treasures about ourselves, and what is available that we have been so blind not seeing, because we use those current whatever we already have to be able to come out of something that we went through,
Like for myself, right, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now, like helping refugees, low income families, homeless people, if I was not 2006 I was homeless. I went to a foreign country to do business, to try to do work. So I failed in my business, tried to find work I couldn't find. And then, like when you are, like Mushida said, when you are down, there's always two types of people. And I faced that first category of people who always put me down and try to make my life worse. So what I did was I took myself out of the equation. I said, okay, where is the best place I can go to just meditate and also to reflect my life and to make changes. And the only place I can think of was a mosque. So I actually went to stay in a mosque for almost 2 months, and it was good because it's a very clean place, and I was able to pray. I didn't do anything bad because it's a mosque. And what I did was there was a pay phone in the mosque where I can use coins, and that's the only money I have, coins. I use the coins to do set appointments to meet people. And a lot of people ask me, right, in that time that you were homeless, you only had coins, how do you survive? So the powerful learning of being homeless, right? It's very powerful that I learned the first is to have faith in God. Like God is so fair that whatever you go through, right, it's not meant to be just for the sake of going through it, but there is a purpose that will come after you have gone through it. So like what I've learned from being homeless right now, I made a commitment. I said, if I get out of this homelessness, I'm going to help other people who are like myself. We don't plan to be homeless, but it's circumstances. I want to help others. So what happened was, even in my state of, because I have a lot of faith and I was self-developed, just people just come to me and just give me food, give me money without me asking them. It's like a miracle. Like I don't stand in the corner and ask for money. You have a bowl, people put money inside. I just do my normal things. I pray, I make calls on the phone. But I mean, amazing strangers who come and just give me love, give me money, give me food. So then I told myself, I want to be that kind of person. When I go get out of my homelessness, I want to be that person to give unconditional love to people. So coming back to Malaysia, we started doing charity projects, from feeding homeless people, helping the low income, helping sex workers, helping people, water pumps in Cambodia, and now with refugees. So I thought that all these challenges, right, when I look back at it, it's actually a blessing in disguise. If it didn't happen to me, I'll be one of those a rich person, don't care less about other people. I'm okay, my life is okay, I don't bother about other people. But a lot of people are suffering. So I take it as that thing that happened to me was actually, I would say, the best thing that happened to in my life. I wouldn't change it for anything. I learned from it, and I'm doing what I'm doing now. My life purpose is because of this challenge that I went through.
Yeah, and one of the key things that we are already instilling in our business is to eliminate poverty,
Yeah.
reduce the level of homelessness on
It's a mindset thing, actually.
Not widening the gap of income inequality, but at least closing the gap. So
Yeah.
that is what our intention is for our business.
Yep.
Yeah.
Zil, you have actually introduced One Help One model. Can
Yeah.
you tell us about it?
Okay, the One Help One model was inspired by a company, Tom Shoes, right? Tom Shoes is a company that what they do is they produce shoes. So for every shoe that they produce, they will give another person in a low, like a poor country, shoes as well to wear. So it's like one shoe for one.
One for one.
One for one. Yeah, their tagline is one for one. So that I said, what can I do in the similar way to actually help others? So I was thinking of, okay, if I do training, I do coaching, which is my business, why not for every coaching and training I get money, right? I will help another person who is cannot afford to pay for this kind of education to do training for them. So that's what we did. We did for Hassan, which I mentioned earlier. We did for Yusra and many other refugees and low income. This kind of one help one. Every time we make money, if we make a lot of money, we'll help one community. But if we make a smaller amount of profit, we'll have at least one person will benefit from our profits and from our business. That's where the One Help One came. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Zil. You have also co-authored a book, right? Can you tell us about the book Sunshine After the Storm Plays in the Sun?
Actually, I got it's a bit of a twist. I wanted to share about that book, but I think I'm going to share about something else because I was looking for the book, I couldn't find it. But I want to share our latest book that me and Mushida was featured in. It's called the book called Vote to Succeed.
Vote to Succeed.
Vote to Succeed. So what happened was we had our friends John and Revati. They were looking for power couples to feature in their book. So what happened was they were and then when they were asking around, they got to know to somebody in Singapore that about the work that we do on love and respect, and they really was intrigued, and they actually called us to interview us. So in this book, features what like couples journey, like what they had to go through, like for us what challenges we had to go through, and then like there was one time, just remember one story in the book where like we went to Penang. We drove a Kanchil at that time. The only car that we can afford is a Kanchil. If some of you who don't know Kanchil is a very small car. It's like a mini minor in Malaysia. And then that's the only car that we can afford. And it's a rented car. So we went to our friend's place in Penang, right? Our friend already passed away, but when we met him, you know what he told us? He says, Zil, Mushida, I really pity you guys. You guys are so kind-hearted. You guys are so loving, but you drive only a Kanchil. You cannot even afford to buy a car. So then, but yeah, we just take it as it is. But in our mind, we were so happy. We were blessed that we were able to travel, and we just make the best out of it. So that is our like a mantra in our life, right? No matter what happens, whether we are rich or we are poor, right? We do with whatever we have, and we are grateful for it. If we are poor, we make the best about it, and that gives us a bit of humbleness to know what other people feel. And if we are rich, we use our money to help others. So either way, whether we are down or we are up, we are still doing something to help others. So that is the Vow to Succeed book is the essence of people who are doing good things together. They are working on their relationship, and they're also helping others in the world, creating a lot of social impact. So I love that concept of the book.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to add to that, Mushida?
Well, it's actually something that is about successful marriages,
Yeah.
and the fact that they reached out and connected with us. Sometimes we don't look at ourselves, right? We're like, why?
Yeah.
We all like normal only,
Sometimes we want to strangle each other,
Yeah,
right?
we say like, are you sure? And then they were like, yes, blah blah blah. And then people when they interview us, when we share about our journey, I think regardless of how different Zil and I, our backgrounds are different, our personalities are extremely different.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get into loggerheads, but the basis that really bring us together and working very closely together is because of that values of love and respect that
and the social
doing back.
impact that we are doing, the good things that we are doing.
Yeah, so that really gels and bonds us together as a family and as a couple.
That's why what we do is when we see couples who are having challenges or we always advise them do charity together. That means you find a good project that you can do together, whether it's visiting orphanage or is it feeding the homeless. Do it together as a
Husband and
couple.
wife.
And like for us, we even do with our child, our daughter since she was 3 years old, she was following us to feed the homeless people. I can imagine under the bridge in Venture Market. So for her, she even have her own jar where every month she gets money, she put in the jar to help other people as well. So we form a family unit. Once the family unit is there, is stable, then we share with other people the power of giving, the power of helping others. And imagine that if 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people are doing the same thing, how much impact that we can create in the world. Right? It's just now is people are very they're very, I do things for myself, I don't really think about other people, but if everybody had that mindset of, I want to help people, one help one, I help one family, I help one person, one student, a lot of changes can happen in the world.
Yes, absolutely. Love it.
Thank you, Mushida. Thank you, Zil.
Yeah.
You want to share about your future plans as well, Mushida and Zil?
Yeah, very exciting things.
Yeah, a lot of exciting things. One of the things that we're doing besides building communities, like Pamela, like Nazir, Adriana, who are already running, they are leaders already. They're running their own communities. They have their fans, they have their followers. And we're working with these leaders, masterminding, growing in a much bigger way. We're going to reach out more globally. And I've already started putting in identifying good networks to be able to connect people together. One of the platforms I'm planning to start together with Maivu is that Asian women taking on global impact. So empower Asian women to go global with their message and their knowledge from east to the west. And then also, and vice versa, they can cross the market. And this is what we intend to do, to grow and do good in a much bigger way. And like with Nazir, the land itself also, because imagine if everybody goes online and all they know is online, what is the repercussion of offline? And that's why like Pamela is actually coaching people on children on addiction, because if they're in need of the mobile devices, right? That's all they know. They can't communicate with people. They only can communicate this way. And if they don't like a person, they just block and that's it. They turn off their phone or something, but they can't face the person directly. So we work with Nazir also to build this offline community to teach people how to use our earth, our beautiful earth, for all the resources that we can have, food-wise, creating food, creating communities, love and respect, bartering and supporting one another. I buy from you, you buy from me, supporting each other. And this is where we want to take it in a much global way, besides just, people doing this all the time and communicating online.
We strongly believe that the changes in the world is going to be through entrepreneurs, people who are conscious entrepreneurs, where entrepreneurs, they grow their business, they make good money, they live the ideal lifestyle. They don't have to sacrifice their lifestyle because of pandemic or anything, because they do the planning and they are part of a community. Then when they do good, so many people can actually benefit. Entrepreneurs is the one if you see in the past, we study trends, right? The entrepreneurs are the one that make changes. They really make very impactful. So like for us, we don't want to play small anymore. We want to think big, but the big is not to show off that we have a big car, big house, whatever, but we want to do, with the money, we want to do good. We want to invest in things like this land, the sustainable development, so we can actually, in turn, when everything goes haywire, everything goes upside down, like food security, another pandemic, whatever it is, people have an option to go to the land and be there, stay there, grow their own food, be with positive people, and we can protect each other and be in a very high vibe community versus being a lot of negative people out there, So that's we're very excited about this project because we want to be able to create this system, and if anybody else wants to learn from us, we can teach this system to other people all around the world. They can get a land and do sustainable development projects as well. So that's very exciting to us. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that's very exciting.
Yeah.
We are actually coming to the end of the show already. So my last questions to all of you would be, how do you inculcate love and respect? And how do you create balance, fulfill and satisfied life? Who wants to start first?
Sorry, I didn't hear. Can you repeat one more time? I am having issues with my connection.
Okay,
What's
my
the
two questions. How do you inculcate love and respect? And how do you achieve? How can we actually achieve a fulfilled, balanced, and happy life?
Can I
Adriana?
try?
Okay.
Okay,
For
sure.
Adriana? Okay. We listen to the Superwoman.
Okay, Nasir.
Okay. I think inculcating love and respect is not a day activity, it's actually a journey. So journey only starts with like what did I did yesterday, and starting in the morning, right? What would I like to be better, and what did I did yesterday to continue. So it's a progressive growth, and when we have this inculcation of that, we are always in the purpose of becoming a better version of ourselves. And there's no such thing as a perfect person, but we are perfecting our activities and our belief, and it's actually one of the things. Um, the other question is basically about collaboration. I think most of the things that we're talking about here is about creating each of us assembling the best things that we do. So simple math would be 1 plus 1 is 2, but collaboration means 1 plus 1 is 10. Where we look at each other's strength, each other's belief, and work together and forge that kind of resilience and undying effort, right, to see that the future of the next generation will flourish. And the saying is that there's no more normal anyway, so create a new norm and believe that changes are inevitable, and believe that it's going to be getting more interesting, and it gets getting very interesting by the day.
Yes.
Nice. Thank you, Nazir. Who's next? What about maybe Pamela?
Okay. So for me, love and respect, I think it starts from individuals. It starts from us having that in us before we can actually spread that love and respect to our families, our communities, and impacting the world. So it's if we don't have that in us, it would be very difficult for us to go out there and spread that love and respect to the rest of the world. Yeah. So for me, it's all about starting with really even self-care and self-love and loving myself more, so that I can eventually bring that love to my family, to my children, to my community, to even anybody around me, right? And you're talking about the balance and fulfilled life. I think like what we are all doing here, it's all about building communities, collaborating in a bigger way, so that we all we all win. So it's like a win-win-win situation where it's not about us alone, but rather when you have a like-minded community that really we are able to empower each and every one of us, it becomes a very powerful way of impacting even bigger, much more. We are playing a much more bigger game to really reach out to the world, to people who needs to hear that message from us, and how we can really impact on their lives and change the well, I mean, if we are no longer in the norm, but really change people perspectives, their mindset, and really bringing people up to a different level. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Pamela. I like the win-win-win mindset. Yeah. Okay. Next one, Adriana.
Yes. Well, I would say, as I already said, it's actually how Pamela said, that you have to love first yourself for you be able to love other people and get together in only one power. But I would say as well that what helped me a lot, even when I was bringing out and helping other people about business and to develop their income and teaching them and helping them about their own business is that always you have to think about people first. So if you have the aim of supporting and helping other people, money is a consequence of it. So when you love and respect, you have it as a base, and you love yourself, you are willing to love others in the easiest way, and you always put people first, people's feeling first, and the business, money, it's a consequence of it. So it's easier as well to uplift each other. So when you uplift each other, it's easier not only to empower and get together, but to reach your dream when it comes to money, to business, to personal dreams. It's really much easier. So people first, and all the others gonna come.
Okay. Thank you, Adriana. Okay, Zil and Mushida.
I have three things when it comes to love and respect. In order for you to have more love and respect in your life, number one, forgive, let go, right? Let go and forgive, and don't bring any toxicity in your life, in your heart, in your mind, especially before you go to sleep. So forgive before you go to sleep. All right. So tonight, all of you out there, forgive everybody, okay, including forgive yourself. Number two. Wake up in the morning and be grateful. There's so many things we can be grateful for. And that's the thing about gratitude. When you are grateful, you see that you already have enough for that to turn into an income work, for that to build your relationship. You have enough. So be grateful. Yeah. So the best time to be grateful is in the morning when you do your morning journaling. Yeah. Your gratitude journal. And number three is giving. Be in a state of giving every day. It's in what can you give, whether if it's a kind word, whether it's a smile, whether it's money, whether it's anything that, you can always give. And that's how you clear your heart. Forgive, gratitude, and giving. And to have balance, the main thing to have balance is to have balance in these main four areas in your whole being. Your body must be balanced. Your mind must be balanced. Your heart is balanced, as well as your spirit. Yeah. Body, take care of your body, because this is the only body we have. So you need to like say good things about it, do good things to it. Don't destroy. Don't like destroy your body with unhealthy stuff. Your mind is the same thing. You don't want to detox. You don't want to toxify your mind with all the negative thoughts. So your mind has to keep learning, thinking of good things, being in gratitude also. Your heart is your emotions and your relationship with people. You got to take care of that, because when you have emotional management and emotional health, that's where a lot of your other parts of your life is also enjoy. And very important is your spirit, your spirituality, your connection to God. Because when you do not have a strong spirit, that's where people always find they put importance in things outside of themselves. They put in they have expectations. I do this, how come never succeed? How come, because the expectations is external. But if you let go and let God, whatever you have done, you surrender, it will come, because you have put in the work. So body, mind, heart, and spirit, that is the balance that is important.
And like for myself, I always encourage, because Mushida actually shared a lot of what I wanted to share as well. But what I would do is I will share about the importance of everyone, right? We become the ambassador of love and respect. That means we every day we make a conscious decision to love and respect ourselves, but at the same time go out and spread love and respect throughout the world. It can be your neighbor, it can be your family members, because I have this exercise when I do training, right? It's called the ball of love. So this ball of love is like, you imagine this love is in the form of a ball, and it's whatever color you want to make it, the nice color that you can resonate with. And then you take this ball of love, you enlarge it, and you share this ball of love with as many people as possible. And you give them the gift of this ball to them. And it's very powerful exercise, because when we do this exercise, like we do like role play, two people, one person A, one person B, one person is an angry customer, one person is a person that is taking care of the customer, like a customer service officer. when the person A give the ball of love to the person B, no matter how they try, they cannot be angry. They will laugh, like before the ball, they are like shouting, like very angry, and the person on the other side even sometimes even cry. But when we put the exercise of ball of love, the other person who's angry cannot be angry. They're laughing. And when I tried with my students, like one girl, she said, "Oh, my parents, if I score anything less than A, even A minus, they will not allow me to eat, and they will not send me to doctor if I'm sick." So I told her, okay, maybe you cannot fight against your parents. So what you do is you send this ball of love to your parents every day. And then after a few weeks of doing the class, she told, "Oh, my parents, like, I don't even say a lot of things to them, but they can change. They become more loving and they really understand what I want to do without me actually having to put so much effort." So if you understand the science behind it, love is an energy. Love and respect is a very high energy. It can be transferred from one person to one person. It cannot be destroyed. So if you are a walking ambassador of love and respect, you are actually giving your energy to everybody around you, and people who are hurt, even people who want to commit suicide, if they feel this love, they will not do it.
Yeah.
They will not do it. We have seen so many people like punk kids. We have helped punk kids that people feel so intimidated, right? But for me, I choose to give love and respect. And they change. They even cry in our programs. Like they are so hard, but they can cry because of that love and respect. And we see it without fail in anybody that we meet. Like it's not overnight, but people who are even our enemy number one or public enemy number one, over time they become our biggest supporter. From being like dagger eyes, look at us, want to sabotage us. They become our biggest supporter.
Diamond eyes.
Yeah. They events, they promote events, they like. So that's amazing. Like people from that kind of hate can become love is because of that power of love and respect. So I really encourage people to just be the love and respect and share with others. Even you are living it and you are walking around, your energy will spread, and it make our world such a better place.
Yay.
And you have mentioned Mushida somewhere during our conversation. You mentioned that forgiveness must come together with forgetting it, right? Forget and forgive and forget.
Yeah, the term forgive and forget, sometimes you cannot forget, right? Because your brain is so clever, remember every single detail. But you cannot forget a certain negative memory. Now, when people say, "I can forgive, but I cannot forget," I say that is not forgiveness, because you still But if you remember that incident and you don't feel angry, that means you have forgiven. Instead of feeling anger, you remember that negative incident, but you feel grateful. That means you have forgiven. You feel grateful that it happened because you're glad that it happened, because you're where you are right now. Yeah. But if you're still hanging on, you see, because I'm not successful because of that fella, you see what he did to me long time ago. That is not forgiveness. Yeah.
That will consume.
One thing I'm great that I'm getting older is that I'm forgetting the things. In some way, it's good.
That's due to age, right?
Because that makes it easier to forgive, because I don't remember. The last thing is that what helped me also in my journey is that don't take the things personally. This really helped me a lot, that when you don't take personally, it's easier to deal with any circumstance, anything in your life.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you. Any last words from anyone?
Okay, I want to share one.
Nazir,
I just remember Mushida always use this word that I also take it as a mantra, right? Everything happens not to you, but happens for you. That means, right, everything bad that happens, even bad things, right, it doesn't happen to you, but actually happening for you, because it's meant for you to take it and do something with it. Help others. Like if I was homeless before, now I'm helping other people who are homeless. Like if you were sexually abused when you're young, now you're helping other girls who were sexually abused to get out with it, or you prevent them from even happening in the first place. Right? So that is actually a blessing that happens with the event, that if you realize it, you can help so many people in the world. Without it happening, you wouldn't be doing it. You'll be in your comfort zone and you'll be a princess or tai-tai, that kind of thing.
For me, I think changes starts with a start, right? So a lot of people say, "I'm not ready, I'm not able to do this because I haven't had that skill, I haven't had it." So it's always waiting for things to happen. But I think the most important thing to learn is actually you have to start to make it work. So continue practicing to perfect yourself, but rather waiting for it to be perfect. And I think another sharing is that let's be mad. Let's be a mad person, meaning make a difference to people every day. starts with ourselves. Once we start with having a smile, as what Rashida mentioned, being gratitude. I'm still alive. There's a lot of things that I have yet to do. Oh my goodness! So be mad and just fix things.
The mad
I love
people.
it. Yeah, the mad people that changes the world. That's right.
Yeah.
I love it. Matt, yes. Now, anything you want to share, Pamela? Before we close on?
I think when you mentioned Matt, I was having a conversation with my friend, and she was like, "We're both crazy, right?" Like she was like, I said, I set a very high goal this year. I said, I want to make $1 million. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but because I had this driving force that I wanted to set up a foundation really to heal and educate the sex trafficked girls that were rescued, right?
Yeah.
And I told her, actually, when I set that goal, I just had that intention. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I felt that the last few weeks, I had so many things shifting for me. People were telling me, I want to help you make money because I know you have a cause behind you, and things were just starting to move. And it's really like when I knew that God wanted me to do something bigger, stepping out for humanity work this year. Things just started shifting for me in a big way, in a huge way, and it's been amazing. So it's really about that intention. What is that intention that you want to fulfill? That intention is so powerful, and with that intention, the universe will bring you the right people at the right time at the right place, and opportunities and doors will just open up for you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Zil and Mushida, as the founders of the center, what would be your message to everyone, to all of us?
Okay, it's not a message, but it is an action. Okay, so what I'd like to do is, all of you out there, I want you to think of one loving feeling. It can be a time when you fell in love. Yeah, it can be a time when your mother kissed you on your cheek. Just remember a very loving memory, and I want you to just bring that memory into your mind. And from your mind, bring that memory down into your heart. And imagine that memory is now coming out from you in a very bright light. And you can choose any color you want, right? Grow that light bigger. And imagine that light is that ball of love Zil was telling you about. Grow that ball of love bigger. And imagine that ball of love is now covering your whole body. Now grow that ball of love even bigger. And imagine that ball of love affecting the person around you, in your room, in your house. Grow that ball of love even bigger, and imagine that ball of love covering your whole community, your whole township. Yeah? Grow that ball of love even bigger, and imagine that ball of love covering your whole country. And imagine now that ball of love even expanding beyond your country and covering your whole world. Okay, this is the ball of love you carry with you daily when you plant love inside, and you imagine it coming out from you. And that's how people can feel your vibe. People can feel your charisma. People can feel your love. And we need this love as much as possible right now. So this is my gift for everyone. This is the action I'd like every one of you out there to carry this ball of love wherever you go.
Like for me, my last messages is, no matter how bad things get, right, don't give up, or don't even think about hurting yourself, or even some people think of committing suicide, because everything that is bad, right, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always a hope. There's always a solution. We just have to be around the right people and just move forward, and things will just happen. And if we just go through it and we take that message and we use it, right, your life will change in so many ways that you can never imagine. What we are doing now, we can never imagine we were doing last time. But because of the challenges that we went through, is actually something that is gearing us to do what we are doing now. And we know it is not the end. There's so many things that we want to do before we leave this world and leave this legacy in this world. Yeah.
So thanks,
Thank you so much, panel, all the panel, Pamela, Nazir, Adriana, and of course, Zil and Mushida. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
All the viewers,
Good
Bye-bye.
morning, good
Thank you.
afternoon.
And thank you all the viewers for being with us. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. All the best.
Okay, thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.